Hi, these are the top 10 films of 2015. When I say top, I mean my personal favourite films. A few films that narrowly missed out my top 10 were Carol, Inside Out and The Martian. And of course I haven't seen every film of 2015, so please do include your favourite films down below. Anyway, let's get on with the list. In at number 10, Tangerine. This is most known for being filmed on iPhones, but it's so much more than that. This Sean Baker inventive drama comedy follows a transgender prostitute trying to find her pimp boyfriend, and it perfectly captures the madness that is Los Angeles. It captures the mood of the city and the struggle of many to get by in this city, stars and angels. The film looks gorgeous, and Baker has the knack of making films about people on the fringes of society without being condescending. The film works so well due to the performances and the relationships between the characters. There's plenty of conflict, but also plenty of tenderness.
I will go with you under one condition. You must promise me that there's not going to be any drama. I promise. Look at me in my eyes and promise.
I promise no drama, Alexandra.
Whoa! What the fuck?
Oh boy.
Help me, officer!
In at number 9, Creed. Much like the best of the Rocky films, this made me want to exercise for about a week. The first Rocky worked so well because it was kind of downbeat and was all about getting back up when life goes wrong. And this first Creed film also captures that feeling. Michael B. Jordan is great as Adonis Creed's son, who is trying to make a name for himself. And his relationship with Tessa Thompson Singer, who is losing her hearing, really works in this sports film, much like Stallone's and Talia Shire's in Rocky. And speaking of Stallone, he gives possibly his best performance as the aging former boxer. A man all alone in the world who has lost everyone he cares about and is now struggling with cancer. These films are pure Hollywood, but so many of them also get across how tough life can be. Creed gets your heart pumping and, more importantly, gets you to care.
Every punch I ever thrown has been on my own. Nobody showed me how to do this. I'm ready.
In at number 8, The Hateful Eight. I'd argue Quentin Tarantino's most underrated movie. Before I saw this in the cinema, I heard people complain about its length and about how its 70mm photography mostly takes place in a cabin and is just close-ups of actors. When I finally saw it on the big screen, I found the 3 hours flew by and I was hypnotized by the photography. Yes, it's mostly close-up of actors, but what great actors and what great faces. Much like Sergio Leone's westerns, the landscape of the face can be just as mesmerizing as a mountain or a horizon. This western about a group of dangerous people trapped in a snowstorm is violent, funny, and utterly arresting. There are top-notch performances, including Samuel L. Jackson, Kurt Russell, Jennifer Jason Leigh, and nearly stealing the film, Walter Goggins. Tarantino said that to be considered a western director, you need to have directed at least 3 westerns. And being a fan of the genre, I selfishly hope his last movie will go back to the Old West.
You're starting to see pictures, ain't you?
In at number 7, Anomalisa. This Charlie Kaufman stop-motion animation is as bonkers as you'd expect it to be. Telling the story of a kind of dull British man who is a customer service expert and has come to Cincinnati to promote his latest book. So Wallace and Gromit, this is not. He has an issue that everyone around him has the same face and voice, and Tom Noonan gives a suitably dull performance as everyone. At his hotel, he finally meets one person who is unique, voiced by Jennifer Jason Leigh again, and he is enraptured by her. It could have then just been a romantic movie, but no, Kaufman takes us down his usual, unusual nightmare rabbit hole. The film captures the horrible, depressing reality that are hotels. It looks fabulous and has one of my favourite shower sequences.
Hot. Ah! Ah! Fuck! Fuck! Oh! Cold! Fuck you! Fuck! Fuck you! Fuck! Okay. There we go. Da, da, da. La, 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 la.
In at number 6, Room. This isn't as funny as The Room.
I was working as a busboy in a hotel, and she was sitting, drinking her coffee, and she was so beautiful. And I say hi to her. That's how we met.
And I'm sorry, Tommy Wiseau, but this is just more powerful and better in every way.
I used to know a girl. She had a dozen guys. One of them found out about it, beat her up so bad she ended up in a hospital on Guerrero Street.
What a story, Mark.
This story of a young woman who is held captive for 7 years and bears her kidnapper's son is handled with care. Kenny Aberson's adaptation of Emma Donohue's book could have been sensationalist, exploitative, or even too sugary sweet and fictional after her eventual escape. No, this is a serious film about how this sort of tragedy affects everyone involved. Brie Larson has never been better as the girl forced to grow up and care for her child. Her chemistry with child actor Jacob Tremblay is astonishing. But really standing out for me is Joan Allen and William H. Macy as her parents, who have no idea how to deal with this grandson fathered by someone who destroyed their lives. It's an adult picture about a tricky subject and a film that is tender and honest, a hard thing to pull off.
You can love someone deep inside your heart, and there is nothing wrong with it. If a lot of people love each other, the world would be a better place to live.
In at number 5, Harold and Lillian, A Hollywood Love Story. My favourite documentary of the year. If you enjoy love stories or the movies, then this is a must. This documentary is about the long marriage between two people behind the scenes of some of the greatest movies of all time. One a storyboard artist who helped influence some of the greatest shots in history, and a researcher behind film classics. It's got plenty of interviews with Hollywood greats, and it's just a treat to watch. A beautiful film about two beautiful people.
Not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
In at number 4, Son of Saul. An incredibly tough watch. This Hungarian film may be the best film about the Holocaust that isn't a documentary. Yes, most people will talk about Schindler's List, and understandably, it's a masterpiece. But I kind of agree with Stanley Kubrick, who said, "Think that's about the Holocaust? That was about success, wasn't it? The Holocaust is about 6 million people who get killed. Schindler's List is about 600 who don't." Son of Saul is a film with no hope in it. So much of it takes place within the gas chamber as we follow one of the prisoners forced to work there. Our protagonist comes across the dead body of a small boy. He doesn't want the body to go into the incinerator with the others, and he wants to give the boy a proper Jewish burial. There is of course more to the film than this, but that's the heart of it. The boy is already dead. The horror has happened and is continuing to happen. For most of the film, the camera follows Saul and masterfully only shows hints at the horrors all around him. Geza Rohig is outstanding as the man who has lost everything. The long stare in his eyes is the look of a man who's seen hell. Son of Saul is uncompromisingly brutal. In at number 3, The Witch, or The Witch. The 2010s was a great decade for horror, and this is my personal favourite horror film of those 10 years. Robert Eggers' feature film debut immediately leaves an impact. Set in 1630s New England, complete with ye olde talking, the film follows a Puritan family who move next to some woods with a bloody witch in it. Witch films are generally pretty up and down in terms of quality, but what this does is what all my favourite horror films do. It doesn't answer questions. So much that goes on is left unanswered. We're as confused and scared as the family being targeted. The score by Mike Corvin is suitably eerie, and the family has some great actors in it, including Ralph Ineson of The Office.
I like Dave, it's the Finch.
Chris Finch, bloody good rep.
There you've got a hangover, you big puff.
Ah, that's derogatory. That's a shame.
Hey, you're in with that Jennifer What's-Her-Face today, aren't you? Hey, give her one from me, son.
Oh,
Cheers, big ears.
awful man.
Hey, and stop looking up her skirt.
David.
I wasn't.
And a young Anya Taylor-Joy. The Witch is unsettling. It gets under your skin, and it lingers in your mind. Just my type of horror.
Let us pray.
In at number 2, Embrace of the Serpent. One of the all-time great jungle pictures. This Colombian film explores the people of the Amazon, as well as the people who came there to learn, and the jungle itself. The film follows two journeys along the river made by two Westerners 30 years apart, but with the same indigenous guide. It shows how Westerners have affected the region, and the film also tries to represent the Amazon cultures now lost. The film works best when the American botanist in the 40s arrives at a location we've already passed in 1909 with a German explorer, and we literally see how the interactions back then have changed the area. The black and white cinematography is absolutely stunning. The performances are riveting, and the Amazon itself comes alive on screen. It's a strange, sometimes hallucinatory experience, and it's utterly spellbinding. And in at number 1, Mad Max Fury Road, one of the greatest action movies ever made. George Miller returns to direct this fourth post-apocalyptic Australian film in the Max franchise, and at the age of 70 shows that age does not affect the ability to make an edge-of-your-seat action film. Tom Hardy replaces Mad Mel Gibson and is as mumbly as he can be, and while not quite as charismatic as the lunatic Gibson, he is astonishingly physical. You believe he can do what you're seeing on screen. Joining him is Charlize Theron as Furiosa, a one-armed female badass. The plot of the film couldn't be simpler. Furiosa is trying to rescue a mad tyrant's wives. Max gets caught up while trying to escape Immortan Joe as well. The rest of the film is one gigantic car chase, and what a goddamn car chase. It's mind-blowingly good. The stunt work is next level. The first time I saw it, my mouth was open for nearly the whole picture. It's an insane movie with so much character and loads of bizarre details. It's a ride like no other. The cinematography in Namibia is remarkable. If ever there was a film that needed to be seen on the big screen, then this is it. Every decade or so, a film comes out that changes action cinema forever. Stagecoach, Seven Samurai, Enter the Dragon, The Wild Bunch, Raiders of the Lost Ark, A Better Tomorrow, Die Hard, Terminator 2, The Matrix, and this. My lord, was this a fun experience. I saw it 4 times in the cinema, and I've yet to see it on a small screen. This is a blockbuster, balls-to-the-wall action movie that deserves the biggest screen possible. Right, so counting down my top 10. In at number 10, Tangerine. In at number 9, Creed. In at number 8, The Hateful Eight. In at number 7, Anomalisa. In at number 6, Room. In at number 5, Harold and Lillian, A Hollywood Love Story. In at number 4, Son of Saul. In at number 3, The Witch. In at number 2, Embrace of the Serpent. And in at number 1, Mad Max Fury Road. Well, those are my top 10 films of the year. There's probably loads I've missed off. So what are your top 10 films of 2015? Cheers.